y'all, it's Hope at Crafty Hope, and welcome to day 12 of ICAD. ICAD stands for Index Card a Day, and basically you take an index card of any size and alter it with some mixed media stuff. Now, the originator of this, Tammy Garcia of Daisy Yellow, has some prompts and themes that you can optionally use, as well my friend Nina Fickett has some prompts of her own for mixed media ICAD. And Tammy Garcia's is Daisy Yellow ICAD or DY ICAD. So the two prompts for today, the Daisy Yellow prompt was blueprint or cyanotype. I don't really know what that is. I'm going to guess some kind of blueprint because cyan is blue. And then the mixed media ICAD prompt is die cut. Now, I've got some blueprints somewhere in my stash, but not in my scraps. And y'all, I am trying to work through these two boxes of scraps I have. So I went through my scrap boxes and found it's a little blue piece of paper that's kind of the same color as a blueprint that I'll end up working into this. And then for die cut, I went back and forth on this. I didn't want to go take any of my scraps and die cut them. I'm struggling with a headache this morning, and I just was not feeling like doing a whole lot. The themes for today weren't feeling good. I don't know. I'm going to work both themes or both prompts in here, but it's not a card that I absolutely love, but I showed up today, and that's what's important. And yeah, we'll get to all of that. So I collaged on two large pieces of paper from my scrap box. One's just a book page, and the other one you can see had like some Payne's gray, it looks like, going across the page. And then I grabbed some Lucas acrylic ink in turquoise and just made some little blobby things on there. Now that blue piece of paper is the one I'm talking about. It's just something from a little notepad that I used one of my hand carved stamps and did some bleach stamping, and that was really kind of cool. So I thought that might kind of fit into the blueprint idea. And then for the die cut, I knew I had this little die cut piece of scrapbook paper that has the word create on it. Now, I kind of didn't want to use this. Like I said, struggling this morning because I just the other day used the word create on another card that I like much more, but that's okay. It's important to remember to create. That's, I'm here, I'm creating, I've shown up, even though I wasn't really feeling it today. And that's kind of important to create every day, show up every day, just make a little something and get it out of your system. So hopefully that'll lead to a much more creative day. So I'm fiddling with the stuff. I found a piece of rust-dyed fabric that I've torn down and for some reason want to incorporate into this. I played with the placement of this a little bit, and I really, what I had right there was just fine, but I decided I didn't like the sharp points on that little create word, and so I cut them off. Y'all, I like it much less now. I don't, yeah, oh well, I'm rolling with it. And I kept thinking I was going to back that word with that blue piece of paper, but it's not going to work for me. And I wanted something a little bit more to the background, so I've grabbed an ink tints watercolor pencil in like a lime green. I'm sure it has a name. I think I've already put it back, but it's, yeah, just like a lime green, and I'm activating it just a little bit, not all of it. I still want to see the circles I drew, and then I wanted to pop a color. Now, my first instinct was grab the Amsterdam in Reflex Rose, which is the hot pink, but I didn't. Instead, I got the primary magenta, and it's going to work fine, but it's kind of weird because yesterday I did kind of green and red, and here again I've got some green and some red, and it just, yeah, it's not usually my jam. But I watered down that acrylic ink a little, and I'm just splattering it on my card real quick, making sure to turn my card so that the splatters go in different directions. And then I'm going to dry this. It takes a few minutes because I got it kind of wet. So I'm going to cut that out for you. And then I'm going to come back in and decide to ink around the edges of that die cut create word with some Distress Oxide in black soot. And then I'm going to use my fingers just to kind of smear that around to give that a little more dimension, I suppose. make it feel a little more aged, something like that. Just, yeah, I needed that black to be moved around. And then I'm going to play around some more with the layering of this. And yeah, I was having that card wanted to curve so much. I could not could not keep it laying flat. I've tried flattening it. It's still curving. So I'm playing with that. And so I take it off that blue piece and I'm going to see that I really like it on that Payne's gray up at the top. Like I said, I liked it when I saw the pointy edges. It looked good, but I don't know what I did. So there, I'm like, oh, well, that I kind of like that. So I decide that's going to be my layout, and I'm trying to decide if I still want to use that piece of blue paper and that rust-dyed fabric. It was a struggle bus today. So I thought, ooh, it would be fun to put that fabric up along the top. And here's a little scrap that I tore off of that blue um, paper. So yeah, I decided this is going to be my layout, and I look at it for far longer than I need to, and decide I need a few more scribbles in the background. So I've just got a mechanical pencil. It's just a basic mechanical pencil that I'm going around some of the circles I drew with green and then doing some more scribbles. And now I'm going to grab my Uhu glue stick, which is the adhesive I've used through this whole thing, and glue everything down. So I'm putting down my little fabric strip and then that tiny little piece of that blue paper. Like I said, it's not really the blueprint, but that's without the blueprint prompt, I probably wouldn't have grabbed this piece of paper. So the prompt did come into this. And then I've got my die cut there. So, and I'm going to glue all this down and decide that I need this framed up a little bit. So I'll grab that Distress Oxide pad again and go around the outside edges of the card and then activate it with a little bit of water. Since it's a Distress product, it will activate. And y'all, that's going to be it. I know this is not the most like woo of the ICAD cards, but it's a good reminder for all of us to just show up and create. It doesn't have to be the best thing ever every time. I hope you find some creativity in your day and have a beautiful day. Thanks y'all so much for watching. If you like this, give me a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe and come back later and see what else I've got going on. All right, bye.